Hello everyone and welcome to the free-to-play Rares Only Plus series. On this account I've been progressing through the game using champions who are rare, uncommon, or common, plus any champion who is free and permanently available to all players. So with that out of the way, let's dive into the video. Some very exciting things have happened this week. Namely, I'm in the way actually. I pulled a 5-star soul for Marked. So I've been waiting patiently for the 3-star split soul of her to pop up in my shop so I can upgrade her for my clan boss team. The reason I pulled the souls was because the 4-star split soul for Coffin Smasher appeared in my shop, and I wanted to buy it, but doing so would spend all of my essence. So you know what, I got marked on my wish list. I'll pull these souls that I have lying around, and maybe I'll get an upgrade from Marked. I did, and I did. So I went ahead and bought the 4-star soul for Coffin Smasher and Marked's upgrade, so now she has an increased chance of placing this big version of decreased defense. And doing this has gained me about 1 to 2 million damage a key, depending on the affinity and such. So it used to be that I would sometimes struggle to 4-key against magic affinity, but thanks to the upgrade on Marked and Coffin Smasher both, I can always 4-key magic affinity now, and it still works against Spirit, obviously. Nothing has changed too dramatically for Spirit. But yeah, it just, one tiny change can make all the difference. Sometimes that's all you need to get there. So we're still kicking ass in Clan Boss. We can still 4-key. This is the most comfortable 4-key I've ever had. So we're well above a comfortable 4-key range for Ultra Nightmare. So thank goodness. So some days I was cutting it kind of close. So let's talk about the question on everybody's minds. Will I be using Ninja on the free-to-play Rares Only Plus? As it stands currently, I'm leaning towards no. I've got him in my mailbox here. The reason I'm leaning towards no is the whole point of this series is to create videos that are both educational and relatable for as many people as possible for as long as possible. And the reason I'm not using promo code champions like Sun Wukong, for example, even though he's technically free and permanently available, is because if a player had played the game for like 2 weeks and then just discovered these promo codes and they go to put them in, they won't be able to redeem them for the heroes. And that's true for Ninja as well. I watched Plarium's official video, and they announced it was going to be a new player promo code only, which means if you don't access it in the first 72 hours of your account, you miss out. So I don't want to be using Ninja on my series, because even though everyone who's currently playing gets him, but I want to make sure that this series can be relatable to anyone always. So if I'm using Ninja on my account and then 3 months from now somebody just starts playing the game and they play for a couple weeks and they discover this Ninja Returns promo code, they're either gonna feel like they gotta restart the game, which they're probably not gonna want to do after they're 2 weeks in. I know for an experienced player 2 weeks in is nothing, but when you're a brand new player, 2 weeks is a very long time to be committed to a game and like just scrap all that time and start over. And honestly, you don't need him. I don't need him. Nobody really needs Ninja. He's great, he's fun, he's awesome, he's very powerful, but I've been progressing through the game just fine without him, and I just don't think he's going to be necessary for me. So, yeah, we're not going to be using Ninja. If you're following along and doing your own Rares Only Plus account challenge and you wanted to use Ninja, I would not begrudge you, but I'm not going to be using him because I feel like it would be disingenuous to the spirit of this series. So, with all that out of the way, let's dive in. So last week I checked in with you guys. I was stuck on some Doom Tower waves featuring Atur. His counterattack buff that he places from his passive was killing me. So, as I suspected, Syl was exactly the answer that I needed. Her stuns and passive healing were enough to get me through that wave. And I'm going to show you her build here. I decided to build her in Curing set. And again, I know that Relentless on Syl is the meta way to build her. But again, I'm trying to create content that is relatable to as many people as possible. And I know not everybody is going to have good Relentless gear. So I decided to go with Curing Set, because if you think about it, Relentless has an 18% chance to grant an extra turn, which you could argue will effectively increase her healing output by 18%. Now, it's not exactly that, because extra turns gained by Relentless have a chance to trigger extra turns again, so you could take like 3 or 4 turns in a row with good RNG. So it's more than increasing her healing output by 18%, but it's close enough to that I feel like it's a fair argument that can be made. And if you look at the Curing Set, it increases her healing by 20%. So it's a steady, consistent heal. Not only that, but it also restores any destroyed max HP. So it's sort of a 2-for-1. And then we also have her in an accuracy set. And there's something I want to show you guys here. So her stats, she's got 53,000 HP and 32,000 defense. Or sorry, 3,200 defense. 200 speed and 350 accuracy, which is enough for most content in Doom Tower Hard. She's wearing flat HP gloves. Now, I know a lot of you have been told that flat stat gloves should always just be sold immediately, and in most cases I would argue that it's true, but because Syl has such good base stats, I can put her in these flat HP gloves and she's still doing fine. Like, she's not dying. Obviously I will upgrade these to a HP percentage if I pull some, and actually I did get some from a dungeon not too long ago. Defense percentage. I really want HP percentage on her, but I would want to see speed and accuracy in the substats, and I just haven't got any yet. So as soon as I get some percentage based ones, HP percentage with speed and accuracy, I'll invest in them. But for now, these are going to do just fine, and they have been doing just fine. So in terms of Doom Tower, I did something dumb. It's not like ruined my account or anything. But I've already spent my silver keys farming Griffin. Every time I have silver keys, I'm putting them into Griffin. That's what I've done for as long as this account has existed, and that's how I got to the Guardian set gear you guys saw me using against Clan Boss. Even when I could only do like floor 10 of Doom Tower normal, all 10 of my keys went into here. When I got to like floor 50, wherever that is, yeah, floor 50, this stage of Griffin, when I could farm there, I would farm there. Next rotation, the Griffin is the 3rd boss. So if this was the highest boss level I could farm, I would put all my silver keys in here. So I'm basically just repeating that same process, but now on hard. So tomorrow, I'm going to unlock the Griffin. I'm pretty sure this is the Griffin. And then this will be where I'll be using all my silver keys. But for right now, I'm putting my silver keys into the Griffin. And that's given me... I can now craft up to 8 pieces of 5 and 6-star gear. All the Guardian set gear that you've seen on my account was either crafted using materials to get 3 to 4-star gear or 4 to 5-star gear. And there's a remarkably high amount of 4-star gear amongst my Clan Boss team. And she's all in 5-star. But Frozen Banshee has a 4-star weapon, a 4-star shield. When I was doing Nightmare Clan Boss, Frozen Banshee had a 3-star weapon. But yeah, Coffin Smasher's got a 4-star shield, a 4-star chest piece, 4-star helm. You're seeing that, you're noticing a pattern here. If you're trying to progress through Clan Boss and you don't have an unkillable team, you need to be farming Guardian set gear. That's how I got to Ultra Nightmare. Let's look at Doom Tower, and I'll show you some of the things I've been running into and some of the problems I've been running into and how I solved those problems. So floor 37, and any floor from here on out that's going to contain Seafies, I'm going to have to make some changes to my team, because Seafies got a passive that says, first of all, it heals each ally by 10% of their max HP at the start of their turn, but she also has a 40% chance of removing freeze and fear debuffs from each ally at the start of their turn. So not only can she break out of freeze, but she has a chance of cleansing the freeze off of her allies at the start of her turn. And there's no cooldown on this, by the way. This just happens every single time one of her allies takes a turn. It's really powerful and really annoying. So I had to take out Yukaro the Scourge, and replace him with Gnarlhorn, because he does a 100% chance to provoke on a 3-turn cooldown. Now, normally I'd be using Vizix on this team, but I don't have her yet. So I had to use Gnarlhorn in her absence. So yeah, good old Gnarlhorn came in clutch and helped me beat the Seafies. Now, I wish I would have thought of that last rotation, because I did get stuck on a Seafy wave. It didn't occur to me to try Gnarlhorn. I just got frustrated and quit, because I was at work and I just didn't have time to mess with it. But yeah, Gnarlhorn came in clutch, got me through it. Due to the... So when Doom Tower reset, it resets right when I go to bed. And so I fell asleep on the couch. My wife woke me up and said, hey, you know, go to bed. So I was like, alright, cool. So I plugged my phone in on the charger, I hit auto climb. And I got stuck on this, was it this wave? Like this one. So rather than attacking and locking down Hackhorn Smash Lord with crowd control, they were attacking this damage dealer over here. And the Hackhorns just kept coming through and not getting crowd controlled. So they would cleanse and place block debuffs on their entire team, and obviously you can't crowd control teams of enemies who have block debuffs on them. So I kept failing this, but because I was asleep, I just hit auto climb and then fell asleep. I woke up, looked at my phone, saw that I had failed it, hit replay, fell back asleep. Rolled over about 2 or 3 hours into my sleep cycle, happened to check my phone, saw that I failed it again, hit replay and fell back asleep. Then my alarm went off, and I had seen that I had failed it again. So this time I hit replay and decided to watch the key and see what was happening. They magically seemed to be doing it just fine here, but I think there's a Trunda in the next wave, and that's where I kept dying. But so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna have to manual it, but I don't have time right now. I got to get ready for work. So I drove to work. I get to work, and if you hadn't heard, the Fateless team have made me an official moderator of their Discord. So when I got to work, Discord was popping off. I was reading the conversations. I was keeping an eye on things, making sure that conversations were staying civil and all that stuff. The conversation dies down, and it's like 45 minutes until the quest reset, and therefore my golden keys for Doom Tower sort of reset. And I was like, oh, I still need to do these Doom Tower floors. So I hit auto climb. Or I had to manual this wave with the Hackhorn Smash Lords, and then I hit auto climb. And it took me like 10 minutes to clear each wave. And I beat the 9th floor on auto, but I didn't complete the floor until after the reset happened. So it consumed my key for the new day rather than the previous day. So I was able to beat the floor and the boss, but not until the next day. That's why it shows 8 out of 10 keys, because I've already cleared this floor and this floor today. So I'm gonna have to climb these up to here today, and then it's gonna be like that until I get stuck. And when I get stuck, I'll switch over to normal. But so yeah, I'm like 2 keys behind, and it's really annoying and really frustrating. So it is what it is. That's what happens when a game mode resets, right when you go to bed. I just didn't have time to mess with it. So we're a little behind on Doom Tower, but it's not gonna. It's like I said, it's not gonna ruin your account, so it's fine. It's just a slight, unfortunate bump. Right now, there's a dragon event going on where you have to complete dragon with epics. So this is the team I've been using: Haikatoon, Dark Elhane, and Yaga the Insatiable. So this team I've been and the reason I've been doing this is I want to get these 80 points, these serpent tokens or whatever they're called, so I can get this 3-star soul from Mithrala. And I think 3-star is where I'm going to stop pushing, but I am pushing aggressively to get to this 3-star. The reason 3-star is impactful is the big breakpoints for blessings are 1, 3, 5, and 6. So at 1-star, you get the effect. At 3-star, you upgrade the effect. And then you don't upgrade the effect again until 5-star. And a lot of blessings, you get the High Awakening bonus at 5-star. And then, like right here, it says a protected smite debuff. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the 5-star, so I'm not going to waste my time pushing to the 4-star. And they're so expensive to upgrade for legendaries, so even if I did get the 4-star from the event, it's going to be so long before I have the currency to upgrade it to 5-star that I'm just not even going to bother going for it. Legitimately, I just want to get the 3-star, so she'll have a 30% chance of... I'll probably take Brimstone. I haven't decided yet, but it seems to be the most reasonable thing to take, especially since she's going to be a huge part of my Hydra team, and I could potentially even replace Frozen Banshee with Mithrala on my Clan Boss team. I haven't decided yet. It's something I'm going to have to play with and test out and really see how things go. And next on the login reward list is Tanix Hate Flower. I'm not particularly excited for her, but Grush, I have plans for him in the distant future, aside from Faction Wars. And Vizix is just going to be absolutely massive for my Doom Tower hard wave clear team. I've already got a guide for my, basically, here, I'll show you. If you go to YouTube and you type best free-to-play Doom Tower hard team, my video is the first one that comes up. So, and this is the thumbnail. It's got Vizix and Yakarl. So basically,
what's up, guys? In this video, I'm gonna be going.
Basically, what this team is it's Seal of the Drakes, Yakarl the Scourge, Vizix, a Speed Champion, and an AoE HP Burn Champion. This, on my account, my Res Only Plus, is going to be Haikatoon, and I have not decided who I'm going to use to replace Walking Tomb Drang, but I've got some options. Clearly, obviously, I could use Drexthar. He's got the HP burn on his A1, and if he's faster than Vizix, he has a chance to provoke the enemies who will then attack him and get burns from his passive. So I stated incorrectly on a previous live stream that if Vizix went first and then Yakarl went, Yakarl's provokes would override Vizix's provokes. And then the provokes placed by Drexthar would take precedence. That is how it used to work. I did a test with Drexthar and Gnarlhorn, and it no longer works that way. So Plarium changed the mechanics behind it. I don't know when. It could have happened any time that I wasn't playing the game, or it could have just been like a under the radar on the patch notes. Who knows? Or maybe it's intended to work that way, but now it's bugged and it no longer does. I don't know if it was an intentional change or if it's a bug, but the last time I tested it, it's whoever places the provoke first, their provoke will take precedence. So what I can do is use Drexthar and then just make sure that my Vizix is slower, and this should work for the most part. It's not going to be bulletproof because Vizix has turn meter steal on her A1, so she will slowly and eventually overtake Drexthar. So this isn't a perfect solution. So that leaves me with another option, which will be Akoth the Seared. And Akoth is actually remarkably good for this. So he attacks all enemies, has a 20% chance of placing HP burn for 2 turns, and the chance of placing the debuff increases by 20% for each alive enemy. So as long as there are 5 enemies, he's going to have a 100% chance to place this burn. Furthermore, he does this A3 that attacks all enemies and has a 75% chance of increasing the cooldown of all skills by 2 turns on enemies under HP burn debuffs. So this is kind of like Warlord, where it puts all your skills on cooldown. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. It's that same kind of effect, which will service as an additional layer of crowd control. If they're not using, like if I do this against a Sifi, she won't be able to use her Whirlwind Romance ability and put block debuffs, increased defense, increased speed, and turn meter boost her entire team. Similarly, she won't be able to revive the Rotos that I just killed, stuff like that. So, and Sifi's passive doesn't help her reset her cooldowns. It only cleanses freeze and stuff. So this will be a nice little layer of additional crowd control, but it also places a shield buff equal to 20% of his max HP. So this will help keep my team alive while simultaneously bringing additional crowd control support. Not only that, but he has a chance of placing decreased crit rate on his A1, which isn't nothing. Furthermore, he's got this, 15%? No, 25% chance of placing a fear debuff on an enemy for 1 turn whenever they receive damage from an HP burn debuff placed on themselves. So, if it's the enemy's turn, at the start of their turn, if Akoth put an HP burn, or anyone put an HP burn on them, when they take burn from that burn at the start of their turn, fear will be placed on them, which means at that point they then have a 50% chance of having their turn skipped. So, Again, just another layer of crowd control, which I think is going to be really powerful. And what's great is Akoth is the second Doom Tower normal Secret Room champion. And in terms of fragment fusions, we're really close to Archmage Helmet. I need only, what is that, 16 more fragments? I might be able to actually get Archmage Helmet this rotation and start working towards Akoth. So I'll have him, you know, next Doom Tower rotation, I might start on normal. I guess that wouldn't make sense because I won't have enough to summon Akoth at that point anyway. Never mind. Forget everything I said. But I think it's very likely that I get Archmage Helmet this rotation, which is also very good because there will be some rotations some floors where I can't rely on Yakarl the Scourge's freeze to lock the enemies down. Like there's going to be enemy waves that contain Dark Elhain, in which case I can't freeze, or the Dark Elhains will just machine gun down my entire team and I'll die. So having access to a stun champion like Archmage Helmet will be massive. So it'll just give me more champions in my roster to address the problems I'll face while trying to clear the Doom Tower hard waves. And if you've never climbed through Doom Tower hard, trust me when I say that the waves are harder than the bosses sometimes. So having a well fleshed out roster to help you defeat very specific enemy waves in Doom Tower hard is very important. So you'll see me doing exactly that on this account. Which is a shame because Ninja would be a nice tool for my toolbox. Because not only does he bring the AoE freeze, he also brings additional damage with the HP burn activations. So, but it is what it is. We're not using Ninja. Anyway. We waited patiently for Syl. We got Syl, and Syl kicked ass, and she's continuing to kick ass in Doom Tower. Just the extras, the heals, the stuns, the revive, all of it has just been massive for progressing through these Doom Tower waves. And so far, I haven't had an issue fighting Tormund waves. I thought I would, but I mean, you know, last rotation I got to like here, like level 60-ish Doom Tower hard floor like waves, and the Tormunds up to that point hadn't been an issue. Maybe it will be more of an issue when the waves get faster and faster and me having my turn skipped is a bigger deal. We'll just have to wait and see. Another thing that I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get, if I want to use Haikatun as my speed champion for my Doom Tower hard team, she's going to have to be 300 speed. Period. That's non-negotiable. The reason why is because the enemies at the highest end, the Sifis, are like 264 speed. And if the rest of my team is like 200 speed, my Haikatun needs to get to her turn soon enough that when she does her turn meter boost and increased speed buff, it allows my crowd control champions to get their turns in before the Sifi and crowd control them and lock them down. So it's Haikatun has to be fast. Right now she's locked into 235 speed for my clan boss team. And her 19% speed aura is just too much value, in my opinion, to leave on the table and not take advantage of. So it's going to be tricky. I might have to set aside some gear for her, just put her in every day when I do my daily Doom Tower climb, and then switch her back into her clan boss build every day before I do my clan boss keys. So this is why I wanted to build a second Haikatun, but when I did the survey for you guys, there were, even though it was the minority of the audience who was voting against using a second Haikatun, it was like 30% of the people who voted on that survey, and to me that was too significant of a minority to ignore. So if it was like 5% of the people said no, I might have just built a second Haikatun, but I didn't want to do something that would compromise the integrity of this series in the eyes of that many people. So one last thing before I let you guys go, I do want to say I'm not going to push this a ton. I just want to say it one time to make you guys aware of it. I have enabled YouTube memberships on my channel. I've got 3 different tiers. One that starts at $1 a month, just so if you're active in the live streams and you want access to like emojis and like, you know, that kind of thing, you can gain access to that feature for as little as $1 a month. And then I've got I think a $5 a month plan and I don't remember all the price points, but there's 3 different plans you can choose from if you decided you wanted to support the channel. No pressure, obviously, just watching is good enough, and I appreciate everyone who has continued to go on this adventure with me. It means the world to me that you're even here. So, but anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there to let those who are interested know that it's there. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully I will see you in another video soon, but until next time, everyone, happy raiding.